Hey guys, I know it's been a minute since the last time I uploaded.
Oh my goodness!
Oh hell no!
Fuck, man. Get your ass.
Alright guys, let's calm it down. At least I'm uploading now. It's only been like 1 month. You guys can wait a month for content, right? Anyways, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Well, I already know you saw the title of the video, so I'm not really going to explain what one tricking is. I mean, most people know what it is, and pretty much everyone in any type of sport, game, or even just style of movie know what a one trick pony is. Whether it's from LeBron's fadeaway jumper, or all of the Taken films, everyone knows what a one trick pony is. Now, why am I recommending doing that in League? You know, the game where if you pick top lane first pick, you are most likely going to get counterpicked. Well, one big issue I noticed climbing from Platinum all the way to Emerald 3 that I'm currently at now is that you need to be very flexible in this game. Now, I don't want to recommend first timing in ranked matches, as that can always be a nightmare, and the last thing you want your teammate to see is that you're first timing X champion in your game, because they'll have a mental breakdown before the match even starts, blaming you for every little thing that happens in the match, even if you're ahead first timing a new character. But since League is a mode that offers a lot of different ways to play Summoner's Rift, and by a lot I mean only really two, you can always just go to Swift Play so that you can learn a character, get confident on them, and not have to feel like you wasted 20 minutes of your life, or you could play normal draft and still be in a 40-minute game. Based on the fact that you probably play League already, I'm just going to say this now: if you're below gold, just play Swift Play until you're comfortable. The last thing you want to do is even worry about CSing and all this complicated shit I'm going to be talking about when you barely play the game as is. So for everyone above gold, normal draft, and below Swift Play, we're going to keep it that simple. Limited time modes in ARAM are such a different type of game mode that it's probably not even worth mentioning those two, especially for someone that wants to get good at any League of Legends. Now, I'm not going to recommend characters to play for one tricking, as there's over 100 characters in this game. I just want this to be a short little guide for people to look at for when they're trying to pick someone in Champ Select. Now, since you're trying to learn a new character in one of your main roles, the best thing you can do is try to look at the stereotypes in your roles. In top lane you have tanks, you have carries, and you have bruisers and juggernauts. Pretty much a lot of overlap between bruisers, juggernauts, and fighters, which that's mainly 90% of top lane anyway. What you want to do for top lane is just learn one carry and one tank. Not every game you're going to need to be a carry. Some games your team just needs a meaty boy to just take all the damage first, and other games you're going to need to be the carry because you just don't have enough damage on your team. So champions that are tanks for top lane: you have Cho'Gath, Ornn, Nasus, who can flex as a tank, Darius, who can also flex as a tank, Illaoi, and a few others. These characters fit the role perfectly, and you're definitely going to win games in the solo queue. Right now, if you really are desperate to win, you can always just lock in Yorick, as he's just been good all year, and Riot won't nerf him for some reason. They just give him a slap on the wrist. Top lane, you are in a 1v1 until level 6. And if you have a lead, you will now be in a 2v1 for the rest of the game. Just expect to get 3-man ganked almost every single game top lane. It's just how it goes. Now to the next role.
Challenger player, 4 roles. We got 1 role left. Support. Dude, top was, bro. Mid lane is so Mickey Mouse cupcake compared to top lane.
For mid lane, you're in a role that is 90% mages and 10% AD whatever that's going to one-shot the mage. For mid lane, you have fighters like Yone, Yasuo, and a few others, and you have a shit ton of assassins like Qiyana, Talon, and whatever other assassin that can one-shot Ahri. Who really cares? So that includes champions like Syndra, Ahri, Yasuo, Yone, Zed, you know the drill. I'd recommend to learn 1 AD mid lane character at this point, and 1 AP mage that can actually control space. The last thing you want to do is pick an AP mage that offers nothing to your team. This can be characters like Malzahar and Azir, which are extremely hard, and they do have value, but are very niche picks into a lot of characters, as a lot of people will just build QSS or Spell Shield or anything to just make it your life hell, and all you have to do is press R. But hey, I mean, a lot of people aren't going to really like it the first time you do it, so they're going to build a QSS almost immediately after they kill you for the first time, so good luck with that. I don't really have too much advice mid lane, as your team's always going to need AP, or they're going to need an AD carry with how many AP champions there are these days. And once you get higher rank, you're going to see a lot of AP carries in the bot lane just because of how safe they are. So you're definitely going to have to flex a Yone or a Yasuo or whatever AD mid laner you can think of off the top of your head. Not really much there. I mean, it's just roaming. You're a mid lane player, so it can be a fiesta some games. Sometimes your own bot lane is just going to farm your waves mid and just camp your lane. So get used to it. Now, the next role I'm going to talk about isn't really a lane, it's worse. Jungling is a very complex role, a role that I still to this day just don't like. The only characters I like to play in this role are assassins like Evelynn and Kha'Zix, because this role is hell. Because there are 4 other people in your lobby, sometimes you just have to be the flex pick. And with jungle, there really is a character from every category that can be played. Now, I'm gonna see this. Ivern is a specialist character, and I am not going to bring him up at all. But when it comes to the roles, every other role I just mentioned is available currently in the jungle. You can play Morgana in the jungle, Zyra, Darius, and Aatrox. There are so many junglers these days, so I would recommend, if you have a comfort pick in any of the other lanes I mentioned, God, that lisp fucking hurt. I would suggest learning them in jungle. Unfortunately, jungle these days is so bloated now, you might as well just learn brand jungle, because at this point, there's not too many like main role junglers left. Even Elise is being flexed as support at this point, so it is what it is, guys. Recommended characters, let's say Nunu, because he was built for the jungle, same with Evelynn, and for AD characters, Kha'Zix is very good but very gimmicky. Lee Sin can be both supportive and aggressive and invade early, so he's also a strong contender. Briar is also very fun, but you are going to be reliant on your E as your character plays itself, literally, and you will find out that out as you play her. Alright, on to the next one, because I don't want to talk about jungle this year. It is so weird.
Carry, relax, Aphelios, relax. You're sitting there crying like a little baby-ass AD carry players, which, by the way, AD carry players, the biggest bitches on the server.
Despite ADC being my most played role since I started learning this game, ADC is also now a flexible role with a lot of mages. So any of your comfort picks mid, if you need AP, you can play them in the bot lane if necessary. But if we're going to go off of ADCs alone, ADC is a very straightforward role. There aren't too many random classes in this role. For ADC, you're mainly going to be playing a marksman, which is just a ranged AD character. You have a few outliers like Zeri, Ezreal, and I would say Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa plays more like an assassin who can just get really fast picks and walk away completely unscathed thanks to her evolved E that just makes her invisible. For other cool ADCs, you have Vayne, who is the hyper carry of League of Legends. I don't really care what anyone says. Max health true damage is always going to be a useful stat, and you've all played a game where a Vayne popped off just by pressing R. And that was probably me, because I'm a Vayne lover. Yes, I play Vayne. I terrorize top laners. Who the fuck cares? I am Vayne. Anyways, you have a few lane bullies like Miss Fortune, Draven, and Samira. Samira is a very situational pick since she can be shut down very easily, and at that point you might as well just play Nyla. For ADC, one-trick ponying is probably the best it can ever be. You are always going to be an AD carry almost every game, so you just need to focus on CSing. So do not switch off from Caitlyn to vain one day because you got bored and you're feeling confident, just keep playing Caitlyn until you somehow have perfect CS. I've gotten clapped by a ex-professional player who just had perfect CS, and I honestly felt bad for even trying to learn Draven because my CS isn't even that good yet. So that's my best advice for AD carry, and just learning how to self-peel and self-engage, as sometimes you're just going to get a support that isn't all there, and sometimes you just gotta accept that your support's bad. So learning how to self-peel yourself is also just a skill you should be learning as an AD carry player. That's all my advice for the bot lane. Let's move on to the final role.
Play of the game.
Fire at will. Огонь по готовности. Heroes never die.
Support is probably the most relaxing role when you're new to League of Legends. You don't have to CS, you just hit your buttons. But as you get better at the game, you're going to realize something. You have 3 wards, and now wards are a very whatever thing in every other role. I mean, you can get away with not warding at all mid lane, you can get away with not warding at all top lane if you're playing a tank, and as AD carry, you can just blame your support, even though it's just a complete cope as an ADC. Despite warding being so important, the characters you play are also important. The one thing I've learned as a support is that you should always be looking at what your top laner and your jungler are going to play, as top lane, jungle, and support are the only roles on your team that are going to be flexed for a tank. So as a support, your classes for this role are wardens, mages, sometimes AD carries. Just like the jungle, there are a lot of characters currently in this role, but mainly it's going to be tank, wardens, and enchanters. Enchanters can buff your whole team like Sona, and wardens can save your whole team like Thresh and Leona, so I would recommend learning one support that enchants and one support that is just hard engage. I've always been allergic to learning tanks and support, and I'm trying to learn Thresh, but I can never wrap my head around him. So for me, I'm going to recommend characters like Leona and Alistar since they're more straightforward. For mages, you have Lux, you have LeBlanc, you have Elise, and a few others as well. And for ADCs, I believe it's just MF support, but I don't know why you would be playing any ADC support. Like, please don't play ADC support. It is so annoying to play against and around, please. Oh, I'm also forgetting Ashe support. Let me not forget that. So, you might be wondering, what do I do with this information I have now? Well, queue up some games and learn some champions, dude. I don't know what else to tell you. This is more of just getting basic information out there for people that are afraid of one-tricking. It gets a lot of negative stigma in this community, and a lot of people just do not like one-tricks at all. I think one-tricking is completely fine as long as you're not hard inting and just playing only one character because you think it's strong. Even though I've been playing Vlad recently, I can tell you there have been games where it just did not matter how much damage you do. Sometimes you're just not gonna have a fun game. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Anyways, I promise my next upload isn't going to be as long. Like, I'm feeling a lot more motivated. I'm not gonna lie, YouTube is like very draining, especially when you're a new creator. Like, man, I was not expecting this to be so hard. And when you're new, you don't have a lot of tools to your disposal. So, that's about it. Enjoy this video and share it with your friends. I'm not even gonna shout myself out anymore because I just don't even like doing that. It feels so artificial. Anyways, you guys take care.